This battery will cost you $470. That's $122 per kilowatt hour, which places this battery in the budget range. A few things worth noting. There are screws at the top, so you can remove the lid without damaging the battery. And the second is that it's using a GBD 150 amp BMS. On their website you will see two versions of this battery. The first is the yellow version, and it has a metal cell holder. But the second version, the green one, which I'm reviewing, doesn't have the metal cell holder. And this battery is only available in the EU. It's not available in the US as of now. I already did a capacity test off camera, and this battery should deliver 300 amp hours. However, on my first test, this battery delivered only 286 amp hours. So I suspect they're using 280 amp hour cells. So to make sure and to get a response, I contacted the company and they told me they're using 302 amp hours CATL cells. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt and tested the battery again. And this time I got 287 amp hours. That's only 1 amp hour more. And when I did the test, the battery was balanced, so that's not the problem. I usually test the batteries at a 0.2 C rate, and whenever the inverter starts to beep, which is at 11 volts, the test is finished. And that's how I perform all my capacity tests. The manufacturer even told me my way of testing is wrong. So we will see what cells they're using when I do the teardown. I have been running the battery now for 15 minutes at 153 amps, and the battery itself is not hot, so that's good. Next, let's test the overcurrent protection. I will add another load and we will reach over the 160 amp overcurrent protection and see how long it takes to shut down. And it worked, so that was about 10 seconds. And the BMS automatically recovers as well, so that's good to see. So you first have to remove these plugs from the screw holes, and then you can access the screws. Looks like this one isn't attached properly to the terminal itself. Should be like this. And I don't see any seals inside of here. There's also no seal here. There should be some rubber gasket in between. I can't take a look at the cells right now, and I have to take out the battery from the case to do that. But the first impression is good. The temperature sensors are glued down through a hole in the fiber board, so that's nice to see. Let's try and take the battery out from its case. So I got the battery out of the case and it was stuck with some hot glue. So I used my heat gun, warmed it up, used a knife and then flipped it over and it dropped out. However, when you look at this battery, how long do you think this company has been making batteries? This company has been making batteries for 13 years. If you look at the quality, you wouldn't say they do. The BMS, which is a good one by the way, is just slapped on the cells. There's no separation between the cells and the BMS, except for some fiberboard. And the job they did by attaching the BMS to the cells just with some tape. And the foam on here is not really indicating of good quality and workmanship. So I don't like how they designed this battery. So let's now do a low temperature charge test. So we are charging with 6.5 amps. Let's remove the temperature sensor. Oh, and it's not even glued down on the cells. It's just hovering over the cells. Let me take a picture. So let's continue with the test. I can tell you they have strong glue in China. So here we have the temp sensor. It should have turned off by now. We will take a look at the settings in the Overkill BMS app to see at what temperature it has been set. But for now, it doesn't turn off, which is very disappointing again. Another thing I saw is that the balance leads don't have spring washers or glue or thread lock. That means I wouldn't use this battery in a vibration environment like a van or a boat. And then I removed the fiberboard from the top of the battery to take a look at the QR code. And the QR code says it's an EVE MB30 rated for 306 amp hours. So that doesn't explain our previously failed test. So we have to dig deeper. This battery sits now at about 5%. To check for cell bloating, the battery needs to be charged to 100%. So that's what I'm going to do in the next few days. I'm going to charge the battery to 100%, see if there is bloating, and then discharge this cell. So I'll do a capacity test on this cell alone without the BMS. So I will see you back in a few days. We are 2 days later and the test results are in. This cell put 287 amp hours. That's the same as the battery capacity test. So it failed the capacity test on the single cell. I charged the cell to 3.65 volts and when the current was below 1 amp, I started the discharge test. And the test was done at 0.07 C. Normally, this cell should have pulled close to 318 amp hours if it was A-grade EV cell. Normally, the manufacturer, in this case Basengreen, when they order a pallet from EVE, there should be a whole Excel sheet with all the test data. So I asked the company to send me that Excel sheet, but they didn't respond. So I suspect these are B-grade cells. Normally, the law in China is when EVE in this case delivers the cells and they do not meet spec, they need to laser a B on the QR code. So I think these cells are re-lasered. And also there's a little bit of swelling on the cells. Let's take a quick look at the BMS and its settings. First we'll open the Basengreen app and then enter guest mode, click the battery, and overall this app is good. The only thing that doesn't work is the estimated running time. Overall, this battery app is good. We can also see the individual cell voltages. So let's go over to the Overkill solar app and see what settings they have programmed. Connect to the battery. Now cell 4 is a little bit out of balance because I just charged this cell. But the balancer inside of the BMS will correct it, so don't worry about this. Let's go to the settings. And the cell full voltage is set to 3.55 volts. It should be set to 3.65 volts. And the balance start voltage is 3.3 volts. It should be set to 3.45 volts. And then the charge under temperature trigger is set to minus 10 degrees Celsius. It should be set to 0 degrees Celsius. And that explains why the low temperature test failed. Overall, the BMS is good with a 200 milliamp passive balancer. That's great. However, the settings are not right. So what do I think about this battery? The build quality is poor, but it's still better than a Battleborn. I suspect they're using B-grade cells. If a cell or a battery pack doesn't pull its rated capacity or higher, to me it's a B-grade cell. Now manufacturers can use B-grade cells. They just have to be honest about what they're using. This company stated grade A EV cells rated for 10,000 cycles. So overall, I think your money is spent better on another battery. So I don't recommend this battery as of now. If you want to see my recommended batteries, I will leave a QR code up here. I will also leave a link in the video description. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.